Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
What's up, Delora? We are back, and we have our first in conversation of 2025.
We do. I'm so excited. All right, give me a moment because I was working on this. It's Kiara, the producer. It's Kiara, the producer. I'm so excited, Ashley.
First of all, I don't know, Kiara, if that made you feel special, but that warmed my heart just a little bit.
That was so cute. Thank you so much.
Well, guys, if you don't know what that kind of refers to, it's the spirit tunnel on the Jennifer Hudson Show, because we have one of the producers with us today, Kiara Harris. Kiara, what's up? Welcome to Recapping with Delora and Ashley.
Yay. Hello. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So excited to have you.
Thank you for being here.
We usually start these conversations off with your journey. So please walk us and our listeners through the highlights of your career journey thus far to your current work as a producer on the J Hud Show, or the Happy Place, as everybody dubs it.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So I am a Florida girl through and through. I'm from Tampa Bay. I went to school in Orlando, go Knights, UCF. And then I studied radio television, actually. So I did dabble in both. I went to the radio station and worked in promotions as an intern. And then I got an opportunity to work on the show Shark Tank in Hollywood, California. And so that began my LA journey. So I went to LA back in 2016, and I started on set as a production assistant. So I was really thrown into the world of production and what that was. I navigated that space and sort of climbed my way up, if you will. I went from being a PA to being an executive assistant and then an associate producer. And then after Shark Tank ended, it was a little tough to kind of like find my next gig, if you will. I was so young. I was like 22 years old or 23. So then I kind of had to like jump back into assisting. I assisted a showrunner on a Disney Plus show, and then found my way over to Netflix. So I was just kind of hopping around from, these big companies as like a middle-aged 20-something. And I was just having the best time. I was bouncing from job to job and stayed at Netflix for 3.5 years. During that time, the pandemic hit. So, I feel like that's when my life sort of slowed down, and I started to kind of like really look at what I wanted to do in my career, because I was just kind of like bouncing from opportunity to opportunity as it came up. And then I went to The Voice. From The Voice, I went to a Netflix show that shot in Miami called Wags to Riches, that's now streaming on Netflix, and found my way over to the Happy Place at Jennifer Hudson Show, where I am right now, working as a celebrity producer. So yeah, that's the journey.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yes. The late, great Quincy Jones once said that traveling sparks his creativity. What fuels your creative process and inspires your work?
That's a good question. I think that for me, what inspires my creativity is being around creative people. I've been able to be around so many creatives in every sort of position that I've been in and every, company that I've been in. So it's been really cool. I feel like, my life has just been like one big lesson and one big sort of playground to just be creative. And with these people who are around me, I'm drawing things from them. I'm taking little bits and pieces of their creativity and their creative process to hone and craft my own.
That's wonderful. And you mentioned that you're a celebrity producer at the Happy Place, Jennifer Hudson Show. What does that mean exactly?
Yes. So I work with another producer who is more senior than me, and she is in charge of basically creating the script that we will share on the show. So, Jennifer doesn't just go in blindly to interview her guests. She has to prep ahead of time. So in that prep, it's my job to research what guest comes on our show and make sure that, we're not bumping against other shows they may have appeared on, because a lot of these celebrity guests appear on multiple shows like Good Morning America, Live with Kelly and Mark, the Kelly Clarkson Show, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. So it really is
press tours. Yeah.
Right. They go on a lot of press. And depending on what they're promoting, some people are promoting albums. Some people are promoting their next big project that they're working on as an actress or actor. So it's really just about understanding the assignment, is what I say. You have to understand who the person is who's coming so that you can help Jennifer understand what they have going on, because she's got a lot going on as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I do.
Nice. And so we always like to ask, like, what's the best career advice you've ever received? But today I'm going to ask you, what's the worst career advice you've ever received? And how did you navigate past it?
I love this question. Some advice that I ever got, and this was early on, this was at Shark Tank, was I was working with someone who we did not get along at all. And he told me that in this business, you have to have thick skin. And so that sat with me, and it rubbed me the wrong way, because I was like, I'm a very emotional girly. Like I cry at everything and everyone.
What's your sign?
I'm a Taurus.
You're a Taurus. Okay. I'm a Cancer, so I cry at everything. So that's why.
Yeah, I'm a crybaby. I don't know. I think maybe
deep and in I'm a soul. Capricorn. I have no feelings at all. I'm dead inside. No. I'm just kidding.
Oh no. I'm just starting to get into astrology, so I don't even know what the signs mean for real, but
we only talk about them loosely.
Very shallow. Yeah, we're not. It's fun when we do. It's just very light.
Yeah, no, it is fun. I'm learning about it and I love it. Like there's a lot of Virgos that I, work with, and I'm like, okay, I see the Beyonce in you, So
that work ethic.
Yes. So I'm a bull. I'm pretty stubborn, I will say. That's true to being a Taurus, but I just took that info and I was like, you know what? No, I actually don't subscribe to that. I don't think that you have to have thick skin in this industry. I like to say that, you should have regenerative skin. So you should know how to adapt and mold and change within an ever-changing industry, as everyone should. But I don't think you have to have thick skin to make it in this business.
I think that's great advice and very well said. Adaptability is always something I feel like that goes across everything. Learn to be as adaptable as possible. Delora kind of started us off with this vibe, but we must talk about the famous J Hud Spirit Tunnel. We catch the clips, including the viral Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. When I say that has been on repeat, I even heard a DJ playing it in the club. I'm like, oh my gosh. I hope y'all got some residuals for that. Okay. But any insight you can share into the creative process behind the scenes, or just the experience, and any favorite celeb moments for you?
Yes. So I can't really speak to the process of making a tunnel, unfortunately. I can say that it brings a lot of joy for the people at the workplace. And, it is a collaborative effort for sure. I will say that my favorite tunnle, I've really been trying to think about, because we've done so many.
Yes, and you all been doing it for a while, but it just popped recently. You know what I mean?
That Usher one was packed too. Did everybody and their mom come to the office that day?
It's Usher baby. It's Usher baby.
Put the skates on for y'all and everything.
Let me ask y'all, what was your favorite tunnel?
Oh, okay. So I have so many, but obviously Aaron Pierre, duh. But I started crying when y'all welcomed the gentleman from Squid Game. The fact that y'all did it in his language, I was like, this is so beautiful. And then he had rhythm. He was doing the triple time with the clap. I just was like, oh, this is beautiful. And I like to also say the reason why I love it so much is, one, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this on any show, but I just think it's such a warm welcome. Shout out to Andra Day for doing the Aaron Pierre dance down the hall.
Yes,
you know, same metal.
Andra was so cute because I feel like she had the same vibe. Like, to me, she looks like a lioness. So the fact that Erin was a lion and like the fact that she wanted to do it, I was like, okay, I kind of see the vibes. Like, I see why she wanted to do that. And
then Stephanie Hugh, her joy was palpable. Okay. Yes. And that dress was fire. The white dress with the sleeves.
She looked good.
Amazing. Looked good. What about you,
Ashley?
I don't know if there's hardly been any I don't like. That's the hard part. Chris Perfetti recently was hilarious to me because he dropped it down.
Low.
Suit was fire.
The knees.
But those, like, I feel like the first ones that I caught were so pure for me. Like Gwen Stefani, some of those like early ones that I started catching, those brought me so much joy because it was new to me too. So it was like, I'm catching all the vibes and the energy and the love that you guys are pouring into these celebrities, and the fact that everyone is unique. Everyone gives them just such positive momentum to start the show. It's such a like great idea. Whoever came up with it, like, kudos, applause, not just for the virility of it, but just because I feel like y'all leave such a stamp on these celebrities that they'll take with them, right? You create such a positive atmosphere to really bring out the best for your celebrity guests, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I'll definitely pass that along to the girlies. And yeah, it's been something that I don't think any of us realized at the time, you know, the impact that it would have for real. So
yeah. Oh, Angela Bassett. I mean, Lord, there's been so many.
Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett.
Yeah. So many.
We did the same chant for Courtney B. Vance too, because, you know, they're married. So that was a really cute one. Yeah.
It's also been fun to see like social media sites like the Shade Room or the Jasmine Brand compare the Black people versus our white counterparts going down the tunnel, and just like how receptive they are, how willing they are to boogie to essentially.
You see, I named the two of the white folks who were down for the cause.
They were,
because we recapped on this podcast the show that Adam Brody and Kristen Bell and them just had. And I was disappointed.
Nobody asked for this or something like that.
Nobody wants this. I was disappointed that Kristen didn't give me more. I was like, Kristen, now you know what my expectations are of you.
I love it when the celebrity comes back though. Like they were soaking it all in.
Oh yes, when they turn around.
Yeah. They're like, let me do this one more time.
Yeah. Yes. Did you guys see the Teddy Swims one? He did step back in. The one who the singer, the Grammy award-winning singer. He stayed in the tunnel. He stayed in the tunnel, and he was just like, because we were singing his song. So, you know, he stayed and was like, let me just take this in. So yeah, it's really a cool thing that we get to do.
Absolutely.
And what I love is when someone's big, like a Usher and like the Michelle Obama, everybody and their mama's in that hallway. What was it like having Michelle, forever First Lady Michelle Obama, at the Happy Place?
I mean, she's Michelle Obama. So, I mean, you know, I want to put it back on you all. Like, how would you feel, you know, having the former First Lady come in?
Delora has met her.
I've met her, and she was fabulous. I cannot stress, you know, everyone tells you not to meet your heroes. She did not disappoint. She was beautiful. And I saw her with my mom and my sister. She even talked about having her girls and want to hang out, you know, not hang out, but wanting her girls to want to hang out with her when they get older type of deal. Talking to my mom, I'm like, this is crazy. She's just lovely. So yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that you had that experience. She's incredible.
All right. So speaking of the Spirit Tunnel, you've become a meme. An unexpected badge of honor in the age of social media. How does it feel to see yourself pop up across the internet?
You know what's so funny? Somebody sent me that. I had no idea that that existed. So a friend sent me that, and I was really shocked. I was really like, not me really becoming a meme. Like I'm a 90s baby. I grew up kind of in this digital age, and I've been on Twitter. I've been, on Snap. I was on Vine and Snapchat and all those things. So when I saw that I was a meme, like somebody memed me, I really felt like, okay, this is how I know I made it. I
Mama,
really
we
felt
made
like
it.
I made it. I told my mom, I'm like, this is because I'm such a goofy girl. Like, if all my friends know that I'm just such a goofball, like I love to laugh. I love to laugh at myself. So that was a really funny thing to see.
And y'all, she's part of the hand clap with Aaron Pierre. That is what we're referring to. I'm like, there she is with her beautiful smile. I know that smile.
Oh, thank you so much, ladies, for the hype. Yeah, like I did dust off the shoulders and the ladies did get mad. So what can I say? Right place, right time.
There you go. All right. You mentioned already you've worked on a number of other productions. You talked about Shark Tank, The Voice, Wags to Riches. What is at least like one major do you would say, and one major don't in your experience when you're starting on a new production?
Yes. So I love this question too. I think a major do is do your research. Whenever you're going into a new company, whenever you're going into new production, project, what have you, it is your responsibility to know what you are signing up for. And that is something that I did before Wags to Riches. I, was sent what they call like the pitch deck of like the information of the show. And I looked at all of the ladies that were going to be on the show. I researched all of the ladies that were going to be on the show just to make sure that it aligned with who I am as a person and my values. That's something that I'm very passionate and prideful with, is like, I won't do anything that bumps against who I am as a person and what I align with. So yeah, just make sure you do your research. And then for a don't go into a project or a production with expectations. Don't expect things, because expect the unexpected, really, is what I'll say. Because the Wags to Riches show was a very eye-opening experience for me as a producer. I think that is the job that made me a producer, if I'm going to say so myself. I think that I really learned who I am in this space by doing that show.
How long was the shooting process for Wags to Riches? Like the end result, we get a chance to see them in their various stages of life. There's multiple people in that cast. You have a lot of the one-on-one interviews that they're doing. Give me a better sense of like the effort and time that gets put into a production like Wags to Riches.
Yeah, so you have all parts of a production process, which includes the pre-production to post-production. So there's a pre-production period, there's a production period, and there's a post-production period. So to answer that fully, it takes about, for us on a first season show, mind you, it will take a little bit more time because you're trying to figure out the landscape. This is a show that's never been done before. There has been Wags Miami in the past. There has been Basketball Wives. There's been other shows like this, Real Housewives, but there's never been a show like this for Netflix. So it was really just a learning curve the whole way through. And, I would say in total, it took maybe 4.5 months to do the show. And then that does not include the post-production. The post-production is something that I was a part of a little bit to kind of hand off things, but that took a whole other maybe like 3 months. So yeah, I mean, it takes like a full 7 to 8 months to get a show done in the reality world for docu-soaps. Like, you have to remember, reality is a whole world. So there's docu-series, there's cooking, there's competition, there's talk. Like, it's unscripted content. So it's a whole world.
And were you in Miami then?
I was, yeah. I got to go home and even though I'm not from Miami, I got to see my family, and they came for I turned 30 out there. So they came for my 30th birthday. And
Nice. I spent
that
my
was really
30th
nice.
in Miami as well. Won't tell you how long ago that's been, but
well, you look great. So it must have been a couple years ago.
Thank you. 31.
Ashley and I had said on this mic, we thank God for every year we get, but knowing exact numbers these days, I don't know if it's needed,
Well, ladies, black don't crack. So no one could ever tell. No one could ever tell our age.
We keep talking about all the black celebs who are like in their 40s, 50s, 60s are just so inspiring right now because they look fabulous.
Yes, they do.
Oh my God, did you all see Cheryl Lee Ralph come down the hall? Because she looks incredible.
She does.
Yes. She's 68.
Yes. And I love that you all did the Dream Girl medley. I see y'all. You have an impressive resume filled with incredible projects. Looking back, what's the career achievement you're most proud of so far?
Ooh, what a question. That I'm most proud of, I have to say Wags to Riches, because that project stretched me and just pushed me into somebody that I had to be. I just had to be that girl. I had to, I was on the floor producing so much. I thought I was going to take a backseat in so many ways because I still look at myself as a junior producer. So in stepping into that world of producing out there in Miami, there was such a small team. So I had to do a lot more. And I was on the floor for running scenes, just me by myself. And so having that, I guess, responsibility.
Baptism by fire a little bit in that.
Yeah. It was definitely a trial by fire type of environment. And I learned so much. I just really just felt like it was a reality boot camp for me.
You said you had to be that girl. Who is that girl? I'd like to know, are you talking up early? I want to know what that means to you.
I think for me, it means operating in full Kiara mode. So operating as a boss, basically, operating as somebody who is in charge and somebody who does not let anybody's outside voice distract them. So I had to be that girl. I had to let these people know that I'm the one running it and you are listening to me and you are, I'm the showrunner at this point. I am that girl. So you're listening to me, you're doing what I say. And, we're collaborative. Yes, you can push back, but I'm the one that's the leader right now.
You got
Love that energy, Black voice. Woman. Love it. And so, given that this is your baby, did you watch it? What were your thoughts when the show actually came out? It had to be satisfying on the one hand, but you may have also been extra critical on the other hand. So just wondering what that experience was like once you actually saw it in totality.
So I actually had a watch party with my closest friends, and I got really emotional watching it back because I saw my work on TV. I saw literally, what I produced play out on screen. And I was a part of post-production, so I saw a little bit of what it would look like, but I had no idea once it came out the gate from Netflix, what it actually they, cut together and what made it, I guess, to the final screen. So watching it back, I was less critical. I more so released and was I'm a viewer at this point, because I'm also a viewer of reality TV. I grew up with reality TV. I grew up with the Snooki and JWoww on Jersey Shore. I grew up with, I Love New York and Flavor Flav. So I was a consumer. Those are the OGs of reality. As crazy as it was, those are the people that, I grew up watching. I grew up watching Real World and things like that. So, at that point,
I want my eggs cracked, meaning I want
meaning I want a baby.
She's so iconic. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
She's so iconic. No, she is. And it's the fact that I'm even in this world sometimes, it shakes me to my core, because I'm whoa, I am here. I'm living my dream that I had for myself. You know, I manifested getting to LA. I wrote that in my journal when I was 20 years old. And now I'm 30 and I'm doing such
Yes.
amazing work out here. And it's scary because times are definitely turbulent in the industry, but
Mhm.
I am showing up as that girl.
I love it. And I don't know you well, but I'm proud of you. Let me say that. Proud of you,
Same.
excited for you, thrilled for you.
Exactly.
Thank
All
you,
of the
ladies.
above.
I really appreciate that for real. Like, I really think I've had such a hard journey and, you know, I've had a testimony and all those things. So to be able to just share what I know, and I'm just so passionate about that too, of like, I just want to share and be a vessel to something that I get to do and be the change too, because this industry does
Yes.
need change. It's like time is definitely more than up for a lot of I could talk forever, ladies. Time is up for, you know, just the toxicity of workplaces, in my opinion. And,
Hmm.
you know, I am so excited to champion Black voices. I'm Black. Like, I want to do that. So, you know, I'm doing the work to actively champion us because who else gonna do it, boo? Who else gonna do
Absolutely.
it?
This is so
Absolutely.
true. This is so true. I'm curious on your testimony. Like you gave us your journey from being a Florida girl and making your way to LA. You mentioned manifesting being in LA in your 20s. Love to hear a little bit more of your testimony.
Yeah, I mean, I've just had such a personal journey of downfalls, you know, like the highs are high, but the lows are low. That's what I mean by that is like you can just go through so much that people don't see. And that's the problem with social media, right? It's like you post only good things mainly on your feed. And like, I literally try to tell everyone all the time, like, these are just highlights. You
Hmm.
don't really know the real me. So I think sometimes it's hard for me because I do struggle with being such an open person and people thinking that they know me or thinking that, you know, my life is glamorous because I'm in LA. And it's like, yeah, but we all, like, you do know we all struggle, right? Like, you do know, like, there are downfalls and periods of time where, you know, you just aren't okay. So, with a little bit of my testimony, it's just like, I've been through things where, like, totaled cars, break ins, you know, sexual assault, you know, just things that just are not okay, really, and things that have altered my chemistry and altered the person that I'm becoming now. So I think you all caught me in a very transitional period of somebody that I'm breaking out of, somebody that I once was, and somebody that I'm going to be.
Hmm.
Yes,
So I think that, you know, my mission and the way that I don't know if y'all are prayerful people, but the way that God
we
is
are.
using me right now is I feel like he is calling me to something that is much bigger than just being a producer on shows. So a part of that is just really trying to sit still and listen. I think a lot of this industry and what I get to do is so fast paced. It's so go, go, go. And I've been over the last year going at such a 100-mile-per-hour speed that like now I'm ready to sit still. So after Jennifer Hudson Show ends, I'm not taking on any other projects. I'm focused on myself and what I feel I'm called to do.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, thank you for your openness. We completely understand. We've experienced that in our careers as well, where it's like I have been grinding and grinding and like I've been able to do some great things, but it's not sustainable. So it's like, what can I do to make sure my health, both mentally, physically, and spiritually, is all intact and I'm still making a difference? I'm still able to shine, be a light to the world. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
yes.
When you're a light, I feel that when you're such a light to people and you exude that, like you all talked about my smile and outward facing, I do seem so happy and so positive and bubbly. But I think sometimes, you know, the light attracts bugs and it attracts flies and gnats and just people that you have to discern properly of if they're good or if they're not good. for you. So I think I'm in that process too of discernment and protection and alignment. So I'm just going through a time.
Well, we'll be praying for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies.
Out of all the reality TV shows you've worked on, if you had to be a cast member on one, which one would you choose and why?
Okay, I love this question so much because the one thing that I have yet to do in this industry is dating shows. Like I've worked on Love is Blind from the Netflix corporate end, but I've never been a cast member for a dating show. So I will say there's this one dating show that I loved. It was called Are You the One? I don't know if it airs anymore, but it was an MTV dating show.
I was gonna say it's MTV, right?
Yeah, I think I remember it. Yeah.
I think it's canceled now. Like I don't think they do it anymore. But there's this show that it's like 10 girls and 10 guys, and they have to find their perfect match. And I swear to you, I want to be on that show. I want to be casted on that show if I could go back in time and actually apply for a reality TV show, which is crazy to think about. I would apply for that one. And I think I would love that experience just because I love love and I love just like people. I love trying to understand people and the sociology behind that. I was a sociology minor. So I'm very curious and interested in like socioeconomic and societal norms and things like that. So I think it would be really interesting to figure out like, is there such thing as a perfect match? And like, I feel like I would thrive on that show personally.
I love that you brought up that you would do a dating show because we just recapped Love is Blind, the last season. 7. And that was such a roller coaster emotionally for those contestants, right? Yes, but my thing is, and I say this about like The Bachelor and stuff too, I don't feel like the formula actually works. So would you be going into the show thinking like the formula works, or more so like this is a fun experiment, let's just see what happens? Like what type of mindset would you be going into it with?
Well, okay, so my favorite season was season 5 of it because Uche and Clinton found each other. And I'm not close with Uche. She lives in LA and I know her because my friends are friends with her, but they're my favorite TV couple. Like they made it in my eyes because their love is actually real and it actually came off of the TV set and they're married and like they're like the cutest couple to me and they're Black and like Black love and like they're so cute. So for me, it's so interesting how they thought that this process would just work out, but they weren't each other's perfect match on the show. Like they were not the perfect match, but they still chose each other the whole way through. So for me, I was like, oh my gosh, like they literally like proved the process wrong. Obviously, like it's a TV show, so like it's like fake, you know, like it's not meant to like work. Like the experiment isn't really an experiment for real, if you get what I'm saying.
It just brought them in the same orbit, right? Like it wasn't the way they set it up was not the mechanism that drew them together. It would just gave them a framework to meet for the chemistry.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you know, there was a study I read years ago that had me cracking up that said people who fall in love, it's the number one reason is due to proximity. Mm-hmm. So it's like, could you have a soulmate that's literally on the other side of the world? Probably. But if you don't meet them, it might not happen.
That's why I got to go to Africa because I don't even know what I'm missing here in these United States of America.
Ashley, he might be in Africa, girl.
He might be in Africa.
The way that the dating experience is like the worst in my life is crazy because Hinge and all those apps, they don't work. And just the whole Instagram, social, Facebook, like I'm just so over it, you know, like you said, like it used to be proximity. It used to be your neighbor, the neighborhood girl, the girl next door. And now it's just like so crazy. And Love is Blind and just all these dating shows. That's why I really want to get up in there and produce one of them because I need to see what's going on. I need to see from the back end, like, you know.
Girl, if you do that, we having you back on because we're having a full deep dive into the
because
psychology
one of our favorite
of those shows
back in the day was Unreal. Did you ever see that show Unreal on Lifetime? No. Highly recommend. It was messy. It's a scripted show that plays that talks about a producer producing a show like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
And it's
I
messy
think
and
I did hear about
drama.
this.
Yeah,
I think I
Sherry
did hear about
Appleby
this.
was the main character who was super, super messy in it. She brought more drama than the contestants themselves. So I'd be
That
curious
is
too if
true.
you find that like the production and the
I'll
crew
watch it.
caused some of the biggest issues.
The one show that I would love to work on if I was to go into dating producing next would be Love Island. Are y'all attuned to what's going on with that franchise?
Yeah, it's a mess. Yes. When I say mess, it's like messy, 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 messy. Like,
Did you watch the season this past summer with Serena and Cordell?
No, but I hear so much about them and they are so beautiful together. Wait, is that's a Black couple that's still together, right? Yeah.
Couples from that show are still together, mind you.
That's impressive.
It is.
That's rare. That's rare, ladies.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Come on, ladies. It's rare.
Yeah, even amongst seasons, right? It's like we always ask, like on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, who's still together? What, the original Bachelorette and her husband? Are they the only ones still standing? Yeah.
They're on the rocks.
That's why The Bachelor is paused.
They're not doing
The Bachelorette.
They're not doing a season of The Bachelorette.
This is a side note, so sorry. But the black guy, the first Black Bachelor who picked the Southern racist girl, they
Matt
were
James.
together. Matt James. They've been together for years. They break up, and now he's the villain because he made the announcement, and she's doing a press tour on Call Her Daddy, talking about, oh my goodness, he broke my heart. I'm like,
she's trying to get her bag. She's trying to get her bag. Come on.
He also has a white mom, so he wouldn't understand. But as a Black woman, I'm like, we saw this coming 50 miles away.
Tomatoes,
of course, you're gonna pick the racist white girl and make you a villain when y'all break up. Oh my God, Ashley wants nothing to do with this, but
that's what I'm saying though.
No.
Like
I just don't like Rachel. That's all. Rachel Kirkman. I don't like her. Period. So
is that the black girl?
That's the white girl. That's the white girl who's going on the tour. Yeah, I love Rachel Lindsay. If you're thinking about Rachel, I love Rachel Lindsay.
We love Rachel Lindsay. Yeah.
Rachel Kirkman was her name.
But of course, if a girl who didn't see nothing wrong wearing Annabelle, what is it?
Antebellum South gear.
Parties.
Yeah.
We're so messed up. We are literally so messed up as a country. Like, I'm just like, this is crazy. But I will say that's what I was speaking to when I was talking about the tides are changing and the masks are coming off and just everything is being revealed for real. So we're in a shift. Like, the industry feels that. Like, we are in a very big shift right now. And these people who are gatekeepers and who were used to it working for so many years are scared and confused because they don't know what to do. And it's like, hello, all the younger people who are actually a part of the culture and are actually a part of, just social media, and they just know what the world needs right now, are raising their hands and trying to tell y'all and put y'all on, but you're not listening. So we got to create it ourselves. We got to do it. That's where I'm feeling called to do. It's just, you have to do it yourself. Oprah once said, create what you want to be a part of, what you want to see in the world. So it's like, hello, that's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna be answering to the white man. I'm not gonna be working for your company. I'm gonna be creating my own.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Isas, the Quintas. Come on, Kiaras.
Come on, you got the Kiaras up next, and it's just like, it sucks. It's sad that we have to do that, but look at our political climate. Look at what's going on for real. Like, don't put your head in the sand to it.
We've already talked a little bit about this, but tell us more about self-care and how you really maintain your mental and physical health in the midst of this life and work that you've had a chance to get involved in.
Thank you so much for that question. I am so passionate about self-care and taking care of yourself. And that could look like literally anything for anyone. But for me, it looks like my weekly gym appointment with my trainer. So every single week on Saturday, I train with my trainer, and then I get my protein shake, and then I write in my journal, and then I sit in the sauna and I take a shower and decompress for my day. And that's just a recent practice that I've fallen into with the balancing my career. So that's something that I've recently sort of latched onto. Other self-care practices that go a little deeper for me are travel. I love to travel. After Wags to Riches, I spent a week in Kauai by myself. And I'm so passionate about solo travel. I think it's the most beautiful thing you can give yourself. So I love doing that. And honestly, it's just in the little things, like listening to your body responses. If you're feeling a heightened sense of anxiety, if you're feeling a lot of stress, okay, taking note of that. What do I do about that? How do I bring myself and regulate my system again? So for me, it could be as simple as taking a walk outside. It could be literally calling up a friend that I haven't talked to in a while who I know validates me or, has the space to hold for me just to vent. Mm-hmm. So self-care goes so deep for me because it's like the definition of it's not really defined. You can define your own version of self-care, caring for yourself, care for yourself.
Remember that in the midst of everything else you have going on in life, right? Like it all starts with number one. Otherwise, you can't pour out into anything else.
Yeah. You are your greatest asset, and it's definitely worth investing. And I have been guilty of that through the years, thinking like, oh, I got to invest in, A, B, C, all these things outside of myself. When at the end of the day, like you mentioned, it's that stillness that they call it body literacy, right? Like, do you know yourself enough to know, okay, this is off. Let me get this checked, or, whatever you need to do. I love that. That was beautiful. Switching gears a little bit, what's your favorite movie or TV show and why?
What's my favorite movie or TV show? Oh my gosh, like ever?
However you want to answer.
I think my favorite movie is White Chicks, first of all, because it's such a fun movie. It's something that I can put on when if I have a bad week, if I just need to just check out. So I love White Chicks. And then my favorite TV show is honestly Love is Blind. Like, I'm sorry to say, but that chaos of that show is my favorite thing to subscribe to, because I know I worked with the Netflix lead of it for so long. So it's something that I can just kiki with him on, and that really just in the industry right now, with all the TV shows out there, I really like that one. I don't know why, but you guys know, because I told you dating is one space that I just haven't tapped into yet.
Yeah.
It's a really good setup where you have the pods, and then the honeymoon, and then the real life, and the weddings, and the reunion. Like, you have all these phases.
It's a format. Yeah. It's a good format.
It's very juicy for sure.
Season 1 is still the best.
That's our favorite. We love Cameron. Lauren and Cam so much.
I love Lauren and Cam. And I like Giannina, and I like Amber. Amber's about to have a baby with Barnett. If you guys are
okay.
Yep.
I didn't realize she was pregnant. And Giannina is now with somebody who's from a different show, right? She ended up getting engaged too.
He was the Bachelor. Yeah, I think he was the Bachelor franchise. So that was interesting. But they have a baby now, so
they do.
And they're getting married. So yeah, season 1 is the OG. I loved that season. That was the season where right before the pandemic. Also, they were airing right when the pandemic hit. I don't know if y'all knew that. So
that's how it got so popular, because everybody was watching it. Yeah.
And it was also pure. It felt so, because we didn't know what we were getting into. They didn't know what they were getting into.
So true.
It felt very pure.
I live for cultural moments like that. I live for the moments where it's strike while the iron's hot, and see what happens, and the timing of that. It was just so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could create or produce your dream reality show, what would it be about?
Oh my gosh, this is such an insane question. Oh my gosh, what? It's so crazy, because I was literally talking to a friend the other day about like, what would we create? Like, I get so many people who pitch me. I've been a part of pitch meetings. I've been on the development side. I've been on the production side. Obviously, I've been on the post-production side. So I think I'm right now in the process of figuring out what type of show that I would create. I really right now like the Pop the Balloon series. I don't know if y'all know what that is.
Girl,
yes,
it
ma'am.
is everything. It's so rude though. It's so like in your face, like nope.
Yeah.
I think that again, speaking to like cultural things, I really just subscribe. I love like the millennial and Gen Z space, and I would love to figure out like what kind of show could exist in long form or short form around those individuals and like what they need and what they're looking for right now from the world. Like what kind of distraction or what kind of like, you know, guilty pleasure show would they want to see.
Yeah. I love that you're thinking like that, because when you talk about like you love the pop cultural phenomenon aspect of shows now, I think that makes so much sense with social media era that we live in, right? Because those are the things that generate interest. Those are the things that get people talking. Those are the things that go viral. So it makes so much sense in terms of like show development and content that would be something that you guys would be thinking about behind the scenes so much.
Yeah, and I don't know if everybody's thinking about it behind the scenes. That's the thing. Like I think that I think about it and maybe a couple other people I know, but I'm not seeing anybody bring that to life. Like nobody's really paying attention to a lot of the things that I think they should be paying attention to, which is why I'm very passionate about creating my own.
Love it. All right. Final question. What advice do you have? You've given so many gems throughout the conversation, but what advice do you have for those who are hoping to follow along in your footsteps?
Yeah, my piece of advice for people looking to get into this industry is that, um, first of all, be so vigilant and diligent about it. And really, you know, if you want something bad enough, it'll come to you. So just hustle and be ready for opportunities and don't count anybody or anything out as far as opportunities, because you'll just keep going and learn exactly, you know, what you don't like and what you do like. And don't be discouraged right now is what I would say. I feel like a lot of Gen Z and the people who are graduating college, a lot of them have reached out to me, and I don't have the time right now to give to them, but I do want to find that time to give to them. But don't be discouraged. Keep going. Keep reaching out. One thing I did when I graduated was I kept reaching out. I was knocking on doors. I was like, hello, hi, following up. It's me again, you know? So if you want something badly enough, like it's already yours, darling, for real. Just be about it. Like if you say you want it, write it down, figure out how you can get there. And yeah, just keep going.
Thank you so much for that. I think
Thank you.
you know, we keep hearing about so much changing within the industry. You guys have just had the devastation with the fires out there in LA and so much disruption previously. So definitely keeping all of you guys. Yeah.
AI conversation. There's a
Yep.
lot that's been going on in Hollywood for sure.
Keeping you all on the ground in our thoughts.
Thank you. We need it. We really do. The tides are changing, and the money for the networks and the businesses are just, they're not there. The budgets aren't there. The projects being greenlit are not happening. Like you said, like we said earlier, things are getting paused on production because they're just like, they can't figure it out. Things are getting cut. So yeah, we need prayers. We need money. My people are struggling to find work. Like I know people who've been out of work since last summer. It's tough, but we are going to be okay because LA is strong. The people that I know out here are the strongest people that I know. You know, there are people who are what I like to call black sheeps, and they don't fit in their communities that they were a part of. Like look at Doechii. She just won a Grammy. She's
Love
from Tampa.
her.
And
Yeah.
you know, she got fired from her job. Like I'm of that same bread and butter. I got fired from my job, and I did not let that stop me, and I kept going. So we are hustlers out here. We are fighters, and I've met the most brilliant minds and people out in LA, period. So we're going to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we love y'all.
Yes.
We started this podcast because of our love for TV, film, pop culture, all the things. So we are actively rooting for everybody, especially our Black women. Okay.
Period.
Say that, lady. Say that. Affirm, hype, give love. Like, I appreciate it. I tell you, like, I stand as one, but not really. Like, there's so many people behind me that I care and love, and who, deserve amazing opportunities to keep going in this industry.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today for this conversation. We really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
And
this
for
was
sharing,
wonderful.
Yeah, so many gems throughout. Everybody, please check out this episode. Share it with everybody you know. Share Kiara's story with everybody you know. We so appreciate it. We will be back. But in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.